And then when we got there, if I remember correctly, he just goes, I think there was like a green bin out front or something. I was like, that's every house
They
along
all
this
have
street.
green bins.
All right, plan for this episode. We're going to Kakariko. So I'm going to warp to... There we go. Going to warp to the Temple of Light, Temple of Time, Cradle of Light, and do some stuff in Kakariko Village. But yes, you were saying weird drunk guy who came and thought we were a taxi rank.
Yeah, so at this point he tried to get this taxi, couldn't pay for it, and was now just wandering aimlessly, shouting across the road at people, and he lost it a bit, didn't he? I think he was very drunk.
I'd forgotten about that bit. I'd forgotten he got really like irritable, and we had to follow him, didn't we?
Hmm. Yeah.
Catch up to him.
And they were just trying to sort out like what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. I think one thing we should mention is that the area we were, like you said, it's a student area, so there's a lot of student housing, but it's very much samey terrace streets with very samey houses in like rows and upon rows, and it's very easy to get lost if you've got no idea where you're going.
yeah, no, definitely.
And he'd obviously taken a wrong turn on his way home.
Yeah, and he's not from here. He doesn't go to university here. He had no idea where he was. Was his phone working? Could he call his friends or something? I
I
feel
think
like
his
that was
phone
out
was
of
dead.
battery.
Yeah.
So we were like, yeah, okay, we'll help you get home. Big mistake because we're on a winning streak in For Honor. This journey took longer than we thought.
Yep. It took... Because it was... He didn't know where he was going, so we kind of had to help him find it.
Yeah, he managed to remember a street name which we'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
And I feel like we found a street which sounds similar, and we were just like, let's just try there. Because the street this guy was saying, I don't think it existed. So,
Yeah, I think because he was new to it, he just didn't know.
yeah, he's probably never seen it written down before, so he was just like, how it sounded to him when someone told him.
Guy on the roof. Nut, mate.
No,
Yeah.
fucking useless.
I've just created some sort of beautiful nightmare. He's flying.
Nice one, mate.
Anyway, yeah, so he was he was constantly worried that we were going to mug him. Even though he came to us, we then like I guess we did follow him, but we followed him to stop him from shouting at random strangers on the street.
Yeah, we followed him to be like, you're lost, mate. let's get you home. Like,
Let us help you.
and it was weird because he was so drunk, he was like swapping around, like he didn't know what he was. Remember, he was like, "What? So what's your guy's name?" Oh, I'm Joel. I'm Kyle. And then like a minute later, he'd be like, "So what's your guys' names?"
Yeah, and then he'd solely call me Joel and you Kyle.
Yep.
We got the Zora tunic, mate.
Nice. You know, any idea what that would be called? The
Like
magic
grave.
bean heart piece.
Yes, that's it.
That's the one.
And I think this is Dampy's grave, so we can do that as well. I think.
Nice. Yeah, he was just like he got his names confused all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's that point where he's like, "What do you guys do?" Like, and we're like, "Oh, we're students, blah blah." Blah. And he was like, "Oh, cool." And then he just forgot we were students. He started like shitting on students.
Yeah, he started saying how much better it is to get a job immediately, and we're like, yeah, fair enough. I can see that.
Not saying you're wrong, but like, but he was saying something about like students get far too much money. What he was doing was like an apprenticeship or something. Like,
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
he was like super salty about it. And then
He
he was
was.
like, "Anyway, what's your guys' names? What do you guys do?"
You know, like we're students.
We've told you this 3 times now.
But the thing is, you can't just leave a drunk guy who's completely lost in a place that he doesn't know.
And he just kept like turning to us and being like, just letting you guys know, if you're gonna rob me, I've got nothing. There's nothing worth value on me. Like, dude, we're not gonna rob you.
You think it'd be taking you home and not just taking you to a back alley and robbing you if he wanted to rob you?
Taking down all these really busy lit streets, and he's like, okay, if you're gonna rob me, I've only got £2. No, dude.
And then when we got there, if I remember correctly, he just goes, I think there was like a green bin out front or something. I was like, that's every house
They
along
all
this
have
street.
green bins.
I was just like, I have no idea. He's like, oh, I can't remember which one it was. Oh, sake. He just couldn't remember. He couldn't remember which one it was. So we had to we had to kind of like troubleshoot with him. Like, do you remember how far along the road it was? Do you remember like what the house looked like on the outside? He ended up getting it right.
Yeah.
And was it just me, or was I think it was like a woman who came to the door who was like a friend of the guy he came to visit,
Yes, that's
and
right.
and she just kind of went, "Oh, hello," as if she knew him. It was like, "What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be there. You should have been worried about him."
Yeah, no. And then that was it, wasn't it? He just wandered into the house. I don't think, did he say thank you? I don't think
I
so.
feel like he did say something. Maybe he I think he didn't say thank you when he was walking in, but he said thank you for getting him to the road.
Yeah, that sounds about right. He just booked it, thinking he probably still thought we were gonna mug him when he was in the house.
Yeah. I was just like, as long as we got him back to where he believes he's right, and the woman who answered the door, because it was like 2 in the morning. That was this side, isn't it? It was like 2 in the morning. Like, you'd have, if it was, oh, Farore's wisdom, or Farore's wind. Not really helpful, but you know,
Take it.
we got all of the magical items, mate.
But no,
Every single, but no magic. Yeah, it was very weird. He went inside and yeah, we just walked back up. I should mention, it took us 20 minutes to walk him there. The 20-minute walk back was more like, it's probably still 20 minutes, but it was up a 45-degree angle hill, conduit.
yeah, it's like one of the steepest hills in Sheffield. And Sheffield's already very hilly. So
Yeah. God. And so we had to walk all the way back up, and it was like, by this point, 3 in the morning, and we're just exhausted. And we were just trying to have a gaming sesh, but we weren't allowed.
no, it never were. Anytime we were gonna do something, something would pop up.
Yeah,
It was just bound to happen.
yeah, we'd always get interrupted. But
yeah,
you know, we still got a lot of Dark Souls gaming involved. We even got a playlist.
true. Dark Souls times.
Yeah. If you want to find that on Spotify, we'll link it in the description below.
Yeah, it's got some absolute bangers.
Whenever you want to sit and chill playing some games, Dark Souls times.
Just to read a few out. Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
Africa, Toto.
brilliant.
Faithfully by Journey.
Oh, banging.
Lot of Journey on here. Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Shazam's on here.
Yeah, needs to be.
Got a bit of High School Musical 2 on there. Bet on it.
Can't deny bet on it.
Billy Joel, based on a. The whole Shazam's here, and you even got some real good stuff like Big Chungus.
Oh, a cracking song.
He Was at the Club by Boy Boy West Coast, which is maybe the best song of all time. Definitely listen to it, but you must watch the video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You need to see his beautiful face.
The thickest, darkest eyebrows you'll ever see on a man. It's unbelievable.
The confidence of someone who should not have that much confidence.
It's a good playlist with some good artists.
Absolutely. Would recommend.
Yeah. And we just played copious amounts of Dark Souls while we listened to it.
I think we played through every single Souls game multiple times while listening to that playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure with Dark Souls 3, we played through the game consecutively about 4 times.
Yeah. We had just tried like every build, didn't we?
Yeah.
The pyromancy build, I really enjoyed those.
Yeah, I like the Pyromancy build, I like the Magic build, I like the Dex build, Strength build, the Shield only run.
Yeah. Bow only run. Ah, I love bow only run.
I forgot about Bow only run, bro.
Bro, yeah.
Oh, bro, love him.
Our pyromancers, remember, we went for puns with the word burn. So there was Bernard Matthews and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Genuinely, if anyone hasn't played a Dark Souls game, you should definitely play one. Probably one of the best series of all time.
Yeah. You should probably question your life choices for not playing one right now.
Okay, we are definitely going to be playing one of those on our channel at some point.
Yeah, true. Oh, like we said, we could get your brother to play a Dark Souls game.
Yeah, he wants to play Bloodborne.
Oh man, Bloodborne.
He hasn't finished it.
It's my fucking favorite.
It's your favorite one.
Oh, I love it.
It is really good. It's such an interesting setting. Yeah, the Bloodborne is a very, very good game. Like, I think my favorite is Dark Souls 3, but Bloodborne is amazing.
I mean, they're all pretty good.
Yeah. I love Elden Ring, but I've got problems with it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I put many hours into Elden Ring, but I don't think I could fully replay it again.
No, I mean, I just don't like open world games, to be honest. Like they have a place, you know what I mean? But I feel like when you make it open world, you sacrifice a lot of kind of storytelling you can do through the actual maps, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I know Elden Ring does do this pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm not shitting on Elden Ring in particular.
just in general, yeah, they tend to be big, open, empty places, open world games. And they tend to sacrifice, because they've got such a big map. Things like Breath of the Wild I've got massive problems with, because I don't like the massive, like how much they shat on the music. There's not many good songs in Breath of the Wild.
It's just like crazy little piano things, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's
Like
terrible.
the sound design is amazing, but the music choices are a bit poor in my mind. There's no good temples, they're all very samey and boring.
Yeah.
There's very few
Boss
monsters.
4 times.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a slightly different mechanic, but looks exactly the same. There's very little monster like variety. It's just the same.
Yeah. They just
Yeah.
lack the character, don't they? It doesn't have the same character that like a smaller game has like had.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, you think all that time and effort went into, building that giant open world. Imagine all that same time and effort, but for a smaller world. There's so much more like little details, and like you could take a picture of anywhere in Dark Souls 3, just a screenshot. I'll know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
You do that in Elden Ring. It's just there's some grass and a fucking yellow sky. It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so true.
Like, oh, he's in a dungeon. They all look the same. Those little
Yeah.
it could be any dungeon.
Yeah, agreed. Whereas, like you said, in Dark Souls 3 or in Bloodborne or anything like that, you see something and you'll know what area it is.
Yeah, immediately like, oh, it's that part of the game.
The thing with Elden Ring is, I know, I understand why, but even if you show a fight with a boss, you might be able to like, I'm not really sure where that is. I fought it in 5 different locations.
Yeah, so true.
But don't get me wrong, I still think it's like at least a 9 out of 10. Maybe an 8.5, but probably a 9 out of 10.
It is good. It is good.
Yeah.
I shit on it more than I really should. I did like it. I thought it was very, very good. But I want a Bloodborne 2, man. That's all I'm saying.
It was supposed to be in the works, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if they cancelled it. I have no idea.
I know it's supposed to be in the works, but I just don't know. Yeah, because you say you think they cancelled it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've heard nothing about it. I'm just getting a bit concerned.
So I feel like I've heard that they cancelled it.
Yeah, I feel like I heard it. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I hope they haven't, but you know, they very much could have. I still haven't played the DLC for it. I really do want to.
Oh, it's real good. It's real good.
Yeah, you haven't played the DLC for Dark Souls 3, mate.
I know. No, yeah,
Oh,
I have no real excuse.
is this adult only? I think it is.
Mm, yes, it is. House of Twins.
It's the one.
Yeah, adult only.
Um, yeah, yeah. Maybe we should do that at some point. You play the Dark. You play Dark Souls 3 and have to do the. Oh, that means I have to play Dark Souls 2. Don't get me wrong, I love Dark Souls 2, but at the same time, ugh.
On it, but I used to really shit on Dark Souls 2, and I still shit on Dark Souls 2, but in like a loving, you know, loving way. It's like
You-
teasing an older brother.
yeah, yeah,
But
it's good. It's good, but
since playing Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1, like again, like fairly recently, I don't know if Dark Souls 2 deserves the hate. Like Dark Souls 1, it plays like shit, bro.
Dark
It's
Souls
old.
1, yeah, it's got 4-directional rolling. Like I didn't realize how much of an absolute nightmare that is until you actually do it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Like, I used to be like, Dark Souls 1 is better than Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
Nostalgia, you know? 'Cause I didn't play Dark Souls 2 when it came out, so I have no nostalgia for that game. But like playing them again recently, I don't know, man. At least Dark Souls 2, at least you can fucking roll. I mean, not at the beginning of the game, but
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. You just you put some points in adaptation, or whatever it's called, and you're just a G. Then you're an absolute monster.
yeah. Like I think about Dark Souls 1, I think like really fondly about like all the bosses and stuff. And I
Yeah,
go back and play it, and I'm like, God, I fucking hate the bosses actually.
yeah. I do
Like
kind of know what you mean.
Neo, I hate him. I hate him so much.
Yep,
Graveyard of the Giants, awful.
yep,
Upsets me.
yep. That whole area, and then the boss just tops it off as just being a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, I just, better chaos. Terrible.
Yep, yep. You just it's
Four
like
Kings can be pretty bad. It depends, but
yeah, yeah. It really does. If you've got the DPS for it, it's fine.
yeah,
If you don't, it's just an absolute nightmare.
yeah. I mean, for me, up to Ornstein and Smo, it's a masterpiece.
Yes, I always stop after them.
Yeah, that's what it starts to get a bit shit.
Yeah, because you're like, I've got to pick from 4 just horrendous areas. You know, like you said, the Tomb of the Giants, the, the library,
Yeah.
the fire zone. I mean, I like the Four Kings level, but I'm not the biggest fan of the boss itself. I'm with you there.
Yeah. But I feel like with nostalgia, these all look much better than they actually are.
Agreed, agreed. Whereas it kind of works reverse for Dark Souls 2, doesn't it? Because we shit on it so much that
Yeah.
when you look back at it, you're like, oh, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah. All I'm saying is go back, play them both again, and be surprised how many people's opinions I think may change.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. My brother, he still stands by, and he plays it fairly frequently. He still stands by that Dark Souls 1 is like one of his favorites.
It is good. It is very, very good.
I think the reasons he says it's good isn't the gameplay, isn't particularly the bosses. It's actually the level design.
Mhm.
It
Like the whole
feels
kind
like
of interlocked.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a coherent map.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And it is a great game. It's
Yeah,
one of
it
my
is.
favorite games as well. Stresses me out.
Yeah. It's you can't deny it's a good game, but at the same time, I think it's hard to do because you're comparing it to masterpieces.
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh, it's not that good. You're saying, if you compare this to like any other AAA title that's been released recently, it's head and shoulders above it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there's normally a sculpture on this tree, but I can't. It's nighttime only, but I can't. I remember not being able to spawn it. I don't know how to spawn it.
Yeah, there should be one on there.
As a child?
As a child, yes.
Okay.
But we can worry about that next time.
Yeah, next time. We'll cut back to when it's dark.
Oh yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.